And open up our regular board meeting for May 17th, 2017 at this time. If everyone could please remove the deed of silence, return your cell phones, and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So Denise, can we go over any additions or deletions on the agenda?
Sure. We're going to talk about the Emergency Solutions Grant. We're going to get Donna on the phone at 10:10, and Mr. Berman has added an update on the Regional Solutions Grant Award.
Great. And as you said, 10:10 you'll be calling Donna.
Correct.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and get started with, if you don't mind being interrupted, Tom.
No, that's fine.
Well, first we'll open it up to public comment, excuse me, 10 o'clock. And go ahead, Tom, come on up.
Okay, so we had a pretty good phone conference yesterday with WH Pacific and the FAA on our Connect 6 project.
Could you identify BFA?
The what?
You said you had a talk with two entities.
Yeah, the FAA, which is, yeah. So it was WH Pacific for the engineering side, and then the FAA, with Dan Stewart from the Seattle office. So we discussed the taxiway parking and rotating beacon project coming up here. The engineering is going to start here soon. That was the paperwork that I gave you guys there. That's the actual project schedule. So they're looking at being done here with the engineering by September is what they're hoping to have going, and then that way by February of 2018 we will go out for bid for contractors and hopefully be starting the project by April, as far as having a complete plan. So the FAA was on board with that. They also, we talked with them about a couple of extensions of pavement out there. Because of what's going on with the joint BLM Forest Service area, where, they're gonna do that cement. They're looking, the FAA is looking at how much they'll allow us to use around the automotive parking area, and also the taxiway from the T-hangars out to the main taxiway. They're looking at that. They agreed that it's not in that great of shape, so they're trying to extend as much as they can with that grant and get as much of that stuff done all at the same time when we have the equipment here. So
Is it better, just as a question, because we're talking about cement versus blacktop, is it better like around the fueling station to have cement for absorption into the ground?
it would be better as far as the jet fuel, definitely would be
Yeah.
better, because the more that it, the more that we get jet fuel on there, the more it eats that asphalt up.
Yeah.
So in a pretty quick manner too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would not be a bad idea.
Just thought of it as you were talking about the other, so.
Yeah, and I can ask Franks about that, see if they can, as they're calculating and engineering things in, what it would cost us.
Yeah, just have an apron out front at least.
Right. Yeah, enough of an apron. It's difficult because of what we do with the heavy helicopters and stuff flying in. It's difficult. You'd have to have a pretty good sized pad,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that are normally gonna, if there's gonna be fuel spillage or whatever, even from the vents of those fuel tanks, those are gonna be out 75 to 100 feet from the island. So we'd gain a little bit on the smaller aircraft, but most of the jet fuel stuff is gonna be the helicopters where they're out beyond just that little area. So
Okay.
we'll definitely talk to them about it, see if they've got any ideas too as far as how to make that work.
Okay,
for longevity.
great.
Yeah, so, Dan Stewart is looking into how to readjust the funds there and what we can get, possibly even a little bit more of an extension of funds from the FAA to entail more in the project. So he's supposed to be getting back with WH Pacific and myself, giving us those details. And the other thing that came up, we talked about was, when I started talking about the automotive parking area, and I told them that, you know, we really need that so that people, when they come in, they have a direction. It's not just an assignment that people drive right past and don't even see. And what his suggestion was is also, if they can get the approvals, they want to put a 4-foot chain link fence from the main hangar over and down to past the fuel island there, so that there's a sliding or a keypad gate there, but nobody can just drive through without having the access there. So security-wise, if you can get that approval done, we're kind of hoping that all that will come together. That'll be a big improvement.
Clean separation.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'll be a good separation, and then, you know, obviously the EMS crews and that kind of stuff need access through there.
Sure.
But if there's a keypad, and that's all, you know, once again, with their approvals, if he can make that happen, we're gonna try to get all that stuff done. So,
Good.
it was pretty good conversation yesterday, and he was very positive about it. He just said that the only thing he's got to get separated is the state appropriations money. They'll also be involved with this. There may be a little bit of a hiccup there, but he said he's gonna check into that and get all that information for us.
Okay,
And let us know how it goes.
good. Sounds like it turned out good.
Yeah, no, it was good, smooth meeting. There was no big hiccups. Environmental studies, it doesn't sound like we're gonna have to do any more environmental studies out there for this project because of the fact that it's already disturbed ground. We're just tearing up what's already there. And the area that the rotating beacon's going in is considered disturbed ground as well. So they're gonna give us 100% confirmation on that, but he's pretty sure that that is not gonna happen.
No identified sage-grouse habitat.
No.
The
So-
paper rabbits.
Yeah, so maybe we can take some of those monies and stuff that's already been planned in, and that'll just go towards, you know, more of the actual development.
That's
So are they going to actually grind up some of the repave areas there? Or are they going to?
They're looking two different directions right now. They're looking at brand new and then a regrind. So,
Regrind and then reuse the wrap and put it back?
Yeah.
there?
they
Okay,
put it back through.
just if they're grinding it out, I'm sure you'll find a place for that wrap to go that would enhance some other part of it.
Yeah,
Or just a thought. A lot of times they'll regrind and put it right back down.
right. Yeah. Yeah, that's where WH Pacific, now that they've got the go-ahead with the FAA, they're going to give us those options, and then we can kind of go from there with whatever the plan is. So eventually, I would think in the next couple of months here, we'll have a meeting here that, you know, so we can go through all this pre-construction stuff and actually get that ball rolling.
So on our state sponsorship, that's gonna be Dave that signs this? Is
Yeah.
that what you said?
Yeah, there's actually a portion in there where it actually shows him as being airport sponsored, so.
The responsible party, or is legally bound to cover any additional overruns or anything.
Yeah.
Take care
He
of
did,
it.
It is tended in.
Yeah,
I don't know if personally, how this frame.
she was. We're gonna, she'll hold for a minute, Tom. Okay. Okay, Denise, we'll go ahead and contact Donna. Responsible party.
Hi, this is Donna.
Hi Donna, this is Denise with the Lake County Commissioner's Office, and we are in session.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Donna.
going to put you on my speakerphone.
Great. The three commissioners, Commissioner Kestner, Commissioner Winters, and myself, Dan Chow.
Hi, and I've got Kim Walls in the room with me. She's my quality assurance person.
Who's that?
Kim Walls.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So Donna, we just briefly talked about the Emergency Solutions Grant and the information you had shared with me relative to, typically you don't have the counties or haven't had the counties sign on it, but we thought it'd be good just to get you on the phone this morning so maybe you could go over it a little bit and advise us of anything that we're not aware of on it, and if there's any questions, maybe field those.
Yeah, so the Emergency Solutions Grant is not a huge amount of money, but we get somewhere around $46,000 a year for this particular funding stream. It's used for our really homeless people. Basically, we do a lot of outreach and when we're talking with people that are homeless, and we can do two things. We can do what we call rapid rehousing, which is somebody that is homeless that we can get housed quickly, or we do the homelessness prevention, which may be paying some rent for somebody to keep them housed. And our whole goal is to get somebody in housing as quickly as possible. So I think I sent you over the little cheat sheet, the little balance sheet of what the requirements are for that. Typically, this is a funding stream we give through Oregon Housing and Community Services, and in the past, they've only asked for our municipality or our county where our main office is located to sign off on this. So Klamath signs off on this, but when we were going through our work plan this year and they realized we were spending funds in Lake County, they kind of hinted that it would be a good idea to have you guys sign off on it. So I want you guys to sign off on it too, because I don't want to get caught where they say, well, now you can't spend your funds over there. So I think it's a good idea for you guys to have both counties sign off, because we do use this funding stream in Lake County as well as Klamath County.
That for me, that answers most of the questions I had about it. That sounds great.
Yeah, Donna Brad Winters, it answers my questions. As always, I was just concerned if there was a financial liability for the county, which there isn't. This is just to make sure you're in compliance to be able to receive the funds and distribute some in Lake County, correct?
That is absolutely correct. We have a multitude of funds, but this is just this one funding stream that has this requirement on it, because we do have other funds that we also spend on homelessness prevention, but this is just a HUD-based funding stream, and so the requirements are a little different than some of the other ones. But there's no financial obligations to you guys whatsoever, other than knowing more of what our funding streams are and what we're doing over there.
Yes,
No, that-
appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and to that end, Donna, I think we've set up, Denise has with you on the, I think the 6th of June for you to come over. And I'm just going to ask you now, because I was talking to Denise this morning, can we be sure that we invite, and not you invite, but that you give us any additional users of our program that we might not know about? Charlie Tracy has talked to me, and Charlie Pike, I was talking to him this morning, and I was thinking Andrea Wishart over at the Senior Center, but just not sure, just so we can have a little bit of discussion on the programs in the board meeting, but then maybe if you're available, if any of those other folks have questions after you present on the 6th.
And can you tell me what time on the 6th that we're scheduled?
I I wanna say 9:30, I'll have to double check it, I don't have my,
We can,
Okay.
and we probably can adjust that, given that you're coming from Klamath, I would think.
yeah.
Oh, and that's fine because I have an obligation later that afternoon. So as long as it's in the morning, then I'm fine with that.
Definitely in the morning. Donna, this is Kim Kessler at this end.
Hi.
Area coverage across Lake County, how do you address the broad expanse?
You know, we do a lot of outreach. We have crews out all the time, especially now that we've got our veterans folks on board. They are out looking all over both counties. They go to every nook and cranny, and we do a lot of outreach. It's the only way we can reach people everywhere. So they get in the pickup or on their motorcycles, and they go out and they see who's out there. But if you have ideas on where there's homeless folks, boy, I'll tell you, we would take that information.
Charlie is one that has, especially on the veterans, of course, and probably Charlie Tracy.
Yeah, and we work closely with both of those folks.
So all you need us to do is approve this and sign it and get it back to you, Donna?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. I don't know, is there any other questions, commissioners?
Nope.
Okay, well, we sure appreciate you taking the time this morning to help us out, to make sure we understood what we were doing here, and we look forward to seeing you on the 6th.
And so let me just clarify on the 6th, are you going to invite your own community partners, or is that something you wanted us to do?
Well, we can do it one of two ways. Denise has got a list started, but maybe if Denise can coordinate with you, she can reach out to those. Or, you know, if we double up and invite them twice, that doesn't hurt either.
Well, I'm open. Denise, send me a list of who you have, and I can either add to it or give you more information, or however we want to do it. That would be great.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, Donna, one thing.
Uh-huh.
For the general public, the term homeless has been expanded over the years. Can you give a criteria of what that includes?
Well, we have two different definitions because some of our programs will help people that are homeless, not the HUD. The HUD definition is basically you have to be actually out on the street or living somewhere that's inhabitable. And so that's my HUD definition. We also have funding streams that help people that are doubled up, couch surfing, those kinds of things. So there's kind of a double. It just depends on which funding stream I have and which one they allow. For me, anybody that doesn't have a permanent, safe, affordable house is probably homeless. But it just depends, you know, it's all about funding and their criteria.
So what we'd be saying would be the HUD's definition of not having a structure over their head.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Donna, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll be talking soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we're ready to move forward,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
We are.
I would move to accept the 2017-2019 master grant agreement as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the 2017 through 2019 master agreement as presented. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, Tom, continue.
Back to it, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so we were on the, just the paperwork for the PMP grants there. I was not able to make contact yet with the Forest Service, BLM, or ZX grant, so
Okay.
I will get on that. Yesterday actually was a good day. We got the conference call out of the way for the Connect 6 project and the FAA's involvement there. We had 2 engineer teams show up yesterday from the FAA, one for the new PAPI lights, which is the precision instrument lighting system that's going to be installed. They had Surprise Valley out yesterday and coordinated, got the final drawings approved on their end. for the happy lights and how they're gonna be, the wiring's gonna be directed. So that stuff got done. They're not expecting to get, any approvals or monies released, I should say, until September. So more than likely, it'll be April 18 before they start the construction. I'm talking with them about trying to get that coordinated with our project that we already have for the Connect Saves, so that everybody's coordinated and flowing evenly, because it's all gonna come together at the same time.
Lights.
And, yeah, so that's coming up, the approvals are there, just the monies won't be released till September. And, our AWA system, which is our weather station out there, it was shut down as of yesterday. There's a NOTAM out, and it's a 3-week, install. They're putting all brand new equipment. The FAA is going completely through it. They found some little deficiencies in it, so they're going to fund the deficiencies and put in a better lightning rod system to protect all of that, as well as digitally upgrade everything to where we shouldn't have the failures we've been having, especially during the winter months, where we've had icing and that kind of stuff that's actually caused some long-term failures and some overheat. That's supposedly the new stuff's gonna take care of a lot of that, so.
So do all the entities that report weather, do they get it from our airport weather station?
Yeah, most of it comes from our weather station. There's a couple in the outlying areas that I've seen,
Yeah.
but I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
But the main recorder is out there at the airport.
I know on our regular television news, weather reports, it'll show lightning missing, and so for the next 3 weeks, it'll probably show that.
It will show that.
Yeah.
Yep, because it'll be completely down with their rebuilding the whole system, so.
So we won't have a weather report on the TV news?
Not from the airport, no. No, and as far as pilots go, they'll be calling in either on the radio from the aircraft or a phone. So we'll be monitoring that. If they want local weather, it's up to Josh and Julie and I to make sure that they have the appropriate ceiling heights for clouds, visibility, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And that will happen some, just depending, not necessarily real often, but where we're going into the time of year where we're getting some good weather, we'll expect that. And the phones will be transferred, so even in the evenings, if we're not at the airport, we still have access to that stuff. So,
Good.
so we'll have that stuff all covered from our side to keep them going and knowing what the winds are,
Yeah.
whether it's safe to land, so.
How do you estimate the ceiling?
How do we estimate the ceiling? We just go off the altitude and then wherever our mountain heights are. If it's halfway between the top of the peak, then we estimate it. That we've got a 2,000-foot ceiling, just as a reference. So, and they'll know that is an estimated ceiling, whether it's broken or it's a full ceiling.
So it's above ground level and not sea level.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. And I think that was all the updates, unless there was something else you guys had questions on, or?
On the state sponsorship agreement, does that require your gentleman's a motion for approval? I know Mr. Berman is signing, but
Yeah, I think just as a matter of record, you should just acknowledge that.
Actually, I'm glad you said that, because there was a page here that I wanted to, on the, I was thinking I saw a page that may require another signature. Let me just double check.
Page 9.
page 2.
Page 7?
Page 2 does require another signature.
Yeah, there was one that okay, so it is a sponsorship one, isn't it?
Signatures.
Three different places for it to be signed.
Yeah.
Page 7.
Page 7, page 9, and page 1, 7, and 9.
There was one on 4,
And page 4.
Page 4 also, I think.
and,
Oh, on the back side, yes.
Dave, you got that much
So-
ink in your pen?
What's that?
You got that much ink in your pen?
I can get it.
I'll get with that after the meeting.
yeah,
Okay.
page 2 has stuff also.
Okay,
So we need to do this in motion.
I think so. We'll just accept it.
I move to accept the state sponsorship agreement reference FAA appendix form, Department of Transportation, and so on and so forth, Lake County Airport.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the state sponsorship agreement by reference of FAA Appendix Form, the Department of Transportation, Federal Aviation Administration, and the Lake County Airport. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And whoever the appropriate one can sign all those pages.
That's the,
The Lake County Airport one does require board signature. The Paisley one, it looks like is different and requires authorized representative, so. And
Okay.
those likely need in motion as well.
Okay. I wonder what that's,
I don't know.
Well, one's,
Same thing.
it's different because the one is federally funded,
copy.
the other's
Yeah,
state.
yeah, you mentioned that. Okay. So we have a motion on accepting the,
So the next one's the 2017 Airport Pavement Maintenance Program, Lake County Airport. Move to approve the intergovernmental agreement, Lake County Airport, and pavement maintenance program, local match, PMPODA, ORV, FAA entitlement funds.
second.
it's been moved and seconded to accept the intergovernmental agreement. I'd like to add the agreement number 32153, Lake County Airport, the 2017 statewide airport maintenance program. Has no local match. It's the PMPODA, ORV, FAA entitlement funds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
It has a slot for 2 commissioner signatures. You guys take care of
We can write small, so all three of us can get in there. Okay.
it. It just requires 2.
So the next one, Mr. Chair, was the Paisley pavement maintenance. Were you comfortable go ahead and go forward with that pending
Yeah,
potential dollars per match?
Yeah, contingent upon finding an appropriate match.
Okay, so I'll move to approve the intergovernmental agreement number 32154, Lake County Paisley Airport, 2017 statewide airport pavement maintenance program. Within that motion, there will be continued work to find the match of $7,424 to leverage the $148,000 total and change.
Second. And note that it's yellow included at federal FAA. This is just voting for.
This is just the department, correct?
So it's been moved and seconded to accept intergovernmental agreement number 32154, the Lake County Paisley Airport for 2017 statewide airport pavement maintenance program. This is all contingent upon us finding the appropriate match of $7,424.40 for a total project cost of $148,487.92. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I think that does it, Tom.
No?
Or management agreement.
No, Tom would really like.
Oh,
us
yeah,
to do
the other part
next
too,
one.
huh?
The 4-year agreement.
Yeah, I think Dave's gonna come up and do that.
But we're done with Tom's. what you
Well,
said.
we're kinda done with
Kind of done. I'll walk,
Depends
I'll
on
sit
how
back
this
here.
goes, Tom. I'll be right back up there.
I thought you was done with the airport.
No.
Just
Dave's got a lot of stuff yet, so.
Sounds like Tom was good, he's done. He's
Yeah.
out of here.
Good morning, Mr. Berman. Good morning. Yeah.
Yesterday, we talked about the airport management agreement. We talked it over, we all come to agreement as long as I made those changes on the agreement, and I did so. So I would recommend moving forward and signing it.
For the sake of the audience, can you just give a synopsis of what the agreement says?
Can we read the whole thing?
I said synopsis.
Word for word.
It's just the agreement of what the responsibilities between Lake County and Lakeview, or Lake County Aviation on what we pay them and what were our expectations of them to operate the airport and.
Inclusive of basic.
Yeah, no, they still manage basic.
Inclusive.
Oh, inclusive.
Inclusive.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I think exclusive. Okay, sorry.
But Dave, it's a contractual agreement that we've determined we want to extend out to 4 years.
Yes.
And this date to 2021. And you mentioned for such services, we've got an agreement on the amount of compensation. And this is on file for anybody out in the audience that wants to come look at it, so.
And as far as funding, it's airport self-sustaining.
Yes, the
fund.
airport is, yes, it's
It's an enterprise fund, is what it's considered, so it.
As opposed to general fund.
Yep. So I move to approve the airport management agreement as presented.
Go ahead. You have a second thing you think will go?
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded to approve the airport management agreement as presented. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
It's just that if he leaves, he has to pay us $70,000 a year
Yes.
for the remainder of the contract. I don't know if he's seen that, but I put that in today.
Definitely.
I thought Dave was signing for that part.
Well, then I also put in there that 10% goes to me every year.
Tom,
So
thanks
he
for
agreed
what-
to it too.
Thanks for what you do out there, Tom. Appreciate
Yes.
it,
Yeah,
Dave.
appreciate
Well,
it.
Thank you. Appreciate all the support we've had too.
So your next one's Obsidian?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I apologize.
That's all right, you got a couple more, so.
I brought forward yesterday on the Obsidian solar project out at the airport to do an extension on the lease so they can start the project in spring of 2018 with a $3,000 to extend the lease to start the project in the spring of 2018.
And they agreed to pay the $3,000 for
Yes.
the option. Yep.
So this was written in the original, this option, this amendment was written into the original agreement. Just a little bit of discussion, it looks like you just found $3,000 into the airport fund. That probably wasn't budgeted until this.
Yep.
So that's very positive. Where you use that, I don't know, Paisley Airport or wherever, or, I mean,
It could be.
grants or whatever, this is unanticipated revenues, like,
Yep.
you guys talk about it and think about it. I'll move to approve the First Amendment of option agreement as presented by Obsidian Renewables.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded by somebody. We accept the First Amendment to the option agreement as presented.
I think there's a dead tie.
Yeah, okay. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
No discussion for the audience. This is for Obsidian to extend the lease, option for lease.
Option.
Yeah. until they get their financing and everything, and then start the construction of the solar farm out at the west side of the airport.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And Dave, you have one add-on, we'll catch you while you're here.
Yes, this is just an update on the railroad. We went out for a regional solution grant for our bridges on our railroad. We went in for, well,
205,000.
yeah, we went for 205,000. They met May 11th, and out of that 205, they awarded us 165,000 grant for our bridge repair that needs to be done throughout our railroad. So that's a pretty positive thing. I know we all worked hard. Commissioner Winters went up there and did his thing on that, and so it was a really positive thing for Lake County. So.
Yeah, and I think, and you guys know the numbers better than I do, but it was like a pot of 300,000, 5 projects that were selected for that were essentially tied. And we were hopeful to get a little bit of it, and with your work with Commissioner Winters over there, and I know he wants to acknowledge some other entities in that process, but it's great.
Yeah, I can give no update in liaison just on this, but this is truly a very good thing. The decision-making group, which I sat on, I did declare a conflict of interest, but I still able to vote. There's a unanimous decision, and there is only $250,000 available, and we ended up with $165,000 of it. It was huge. So Commissioner DeGrew out of Klamath County actually made the motion, and it's seconded by town manager and carried unanimous for everybody acknowledged the need for our railroad. So thanks for the application, and thanks to everybody that voted to support it. So it's huge. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
But the bridge is over 100 years old.
Yes, they're much needed some repairs, of course.
Well, and Dave's working with all of us, working on, as we've got the assessment of the bridges and the quote of trying to find ways to bring our total costs down and get closer to this funding, most all that. We're looking for other partners, so it's a huge thing. Very, very excited.
Yeah.
We have the bridges, how many of them, Dave?
There are 34 bridges from Lake County, or from Lakeview to Alturas.
And all of them need work or?
Not all of them. I mean, they all need some kind of attention one way or other. What they do is there's a priority list, and I think like 20 some were in priority 2 status. And some of those priority 2 status, we're looking at possibly taking the bridges out and putting culverts in. That's an option for future repairs. It just will save the cost for the county to have to repair bridges instead of culverts. So that's just something we're looking at with the engineers in our construction.
Yeah, there's 4-tier priority. If you're in priority 2, they have to be addressed within 1 year. And we're pushing up against, and that's one of the things I presented during the thing, is we're pushing up against that time frame on those priority 2. Priority 1 has to be taken care of immediately, but we have several in priority 2. And so this is good. This is good.
Huge.
Would that 160-some cover all of our priority 2s?
No, we have to, well,
We have to,
as of right now, if we went with what we got as far as a construction bid, no, it wouldn't, but it's.
Well,
I have to speak to that. It's really unique because there's some discussion through the inspection of what's considered a bridge, an approach, and everything. This whole priority and this inspection includes the approaches, the ballast, the iron, and the decking. Definition of a bridge is anything underneath that.
this approach.
And so it's a partnership working with whoever is operating the railroad. So we're working on that partnership and determining exactly who has all the costs. But there's real potential for this to cover the county's obligation.
And in the budget process that we just concluded, at least through the approval part, we had quite a bit of discussion on the overall cost, which this 165, well, we're very welcome, incredibly welcome, because we weren't able to project those kind of dollars at that time. So this is really, really good news.
Yeah.
So thank you both, and all others that have participated in this. So, that's it, Dave.
All right, thank you.
Do you have the agreement with Tom signed? I can capture his signature.
Oh.
I can't sign, I only brought a pencil today.
I'll loan you for $5.
We gotta create all the revenue we can for the bridges.
Also, you have to return the pen.
This one is only 2 places.
There's one of them, too.
Such a fun homework. Sorry, Jimmy.
No,
The prices seem to be a long hand.
keeping us on.
And please sign with correct names this time. Just kidding.
Is that it?
I think, is that it, Denise? Just these three? Okay.
You can fill in the title and the date.
I can do.
Thank you.
Okay. Got everything?
You're just hard to capture.
Dave and Tom shows over and we're done with them.
That's right.
One of you, or?
Yeah, I think that's it. This one or David.
Okay, our next item is Fairgrounds funding request.
Said you're looking pretty relaxed.
Commissioner Winters, do you, as a member of the Fair Board, do you want to just kind of go over this
Sure.
real quick?
What we have is the new reader board that's put out at the fairgrounds. The department manager, Ronnie Lindsay, came to us with a request for us to at least match what the town has mentioned about these boards.
10,000.
What's that?
10,000.
What the town has put towards it.
Okay.
If you're making a motion for that much. that's-
No, the town, I think she said they put 10,000 in.
Well, anything that the mayor wants to put in above what it would be.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. We don't have to, we can put it in small writing with Lake County.
Yeah, right,
Town of
okay.
Lakeview. Yeah.
So the request is to match what the town of Lakeview, and the town of Lakeview is, they have to get through the budgeting process, but they're very hopeful being able to come with $2,500. And so her request to us is $2,500. And so I would like to be able to honor that request through the video lottery dollars is where I'd recommend to go to.
Yeah.
With that,
I would like to do $1 more.
$1 more,
Yeah.
make your motion.
I'll make a motion that we do provide $2,500 in funding towards the reader board, the new reader board at the fairgrounds as requested. Those monies likely to come out of the video lottery fund.
For discussion, I'll second it.
Okay?
I was waiting for you to ask him to amend his motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the funding request of $2,500 to the fairgrounds for the new reader board. Discussion?
That would come out of the budget.
Yes.
Does that affect our carryover?
It would probably affect our ending fund balance, beginning fund balance in that fund. I roughly looked, Ann wasn't available for me to talk to this morning when I was looking, but I project we should be okay there. We have another funding request coming just shortly.
Denise probably has looked at the last, because that's one of her budgets. I think we have money.
Probably just enough in our projects line.
Yeah. Okay.
Reason I ask if it affect the end fund kind of startup. it doesn't affect somehow next year's budget.
Yes,
which is
that's,
tight.
absolutely, it will impact.
Yeah.
Well, the economic development budget,
Yeah.
not the general fund.
Not the general fund.
Yeah.
So what we project in that, special revenue fund will impact that.
I was thinking maybe the town could hold it.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I wanted Kestner to go he already said aye.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I wanted him to go $2 more because you said $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have an option.
He made the motion, I did it.
So our
Thank you guys, that, we've had a lot of very positive comments out there. Had our fair board meeting last night, and a lot of very positive about the reader board, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been on the plate for about a year or so. and
Yeah.
Nice to have it.
Great addition out there.
Okay, our next item is Oregon Health Authority IGA 153127, mental health. And Denise described this yesterday, but Denise, maybe you can.
Sure. So
Say
this
it
is for
again.
the upcoming biennium 17-19. It's a standard 254-page agreement with the state. As the mental health authority, you are required to give authorization on this agreement. Nothing changes with our contract service with Lake Health District.
Right, this is purely with the state.
Correct. It's for our pass-through dollars.
So, and you have shared it with our contracted service provider,
I have shared it with them and with legal counsel as well,
and you've read it all.
word for word.
Excellent.
Yeah, I did not.
I'll move to approve agreement number 153127, 2017-19 intergovernmental agreement for the financing of community mental health, substance use disorders, and problem gambling services as presented.
Is there a conflict of interest with the gambling part with you?
For me, yes.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve agreement number 153127, the 2017 through 2019 intergovernmental agreement for the financing of community mental health, substance abuse disorders, and problem gambling services. Any other discussion?
Just for the audience, as the county, we're responsible for mental health. Of course, we contract with the hospital to provide the service. But this agreement, it's a 2-year, it's always been a 2-year biennium agreement, which usually get dozens of little amendments throughout that 2 years. But it's 2-year because of the state funding program is on a 2-year biennium basis.
By ORS, we're required to be the mental health authority even as we contract out. So, all of the-
We could.
We could get really in the trenches, yes.
Well, we're required by ORS, we could potentially, like, I think Douglas or Jackson, some county have declined.
Climate, do it.
Yeah, but we choose not to.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Where did we end up yesterday with the agent of record discussion? Was Jay gonna come back today?
I can sure go get him. We did not make a decision on
I
this.
didn't think we did either.
No.
So-
We did not make a decision. We had a presentation.
Right, well, for a decision today,
Yeah.
why don't we take a 5-minute break, a recess, and we'll see if we can round it again.